Hello, my name is Sally Ibbotson and I'm a Qigong practitioner, and this is a presentation on the element of fire. Fire is the element that's around very much in the summer, and it's good to reconnect in our personalities and our bodies with the element of fire, which broadly speaking represents our connectability, our spirit, our passion, our spontaneity, playfulness, and particularly the emotion of joy. And joy in all its extremes, so that can be lack of joy right the way through to overjoy. And overjoy can be imbalancing. Even though we say I'm overjoyed, actually overjoy on a long-term basis can be quite damaging to the system. And so good to balance fire then. The art of Shin is a very ancient Japanese protocol of self-care. And we will explore 5 of the sacred sites. And we hold them for about a minute, and maybe more. If you're an experienced practitioner, you might feel a pulse at a certain point, or it might just feel done. But certainly hold for a minute and 2 if possible. So the first site that we're going to is site 15, and that's on the top of the pubic bone, what you would call the bikini line. And so I would invite you just to place your hand there on that, whether you're sitting or standing, or both hands on that site, and tune in for a minute. You can breathe in, you can imagine light and colour coming to that area. And this is a coaching video, so you're more than welcome to stay longer on this area, which is also called Wash Your Heart with Laughter. The next the art of Jinshin site that we come to is the fleshy mound at the base of the thumb in general. And so what I'd ask you to do is to, with the fingers, connect with the base of the thumb, like that. Place that over the site that you were on a moment ago, and then cover it with the other hand. And again, commence tuning into that area. And now the additional area of the fleshy base of the thumb, site 18. And after a moment or two, just change over so you're pressing the thumb on the other side. And then with the top hand, just come up and come to the third eye. So the centre of the forehead in between the sites 20, centre of the forehead, the third eye, or upper dantian. This hand stays on the 15s on the top of the pubic bone. And this hand is just hovering there with the base of the thumb on the third eye, a bit like a flame pointing upwards. Keep your head pointing towards the sky, whether you're sitting or standing, so you don't crick your neck. And if this is uncomfortable, you could do it with your fingers. And if it's really uncomfortable to have your arm there, then just put your intention. And after a while, just swap over. The next site for the fire element is the back of the waist, the 23s, the kidneys, the adrenal area. So just place your hand like so. Your hand, your arm. And once again, stand. The feet firmly on the ground. The tailbone also going down into the earth. the top of the head reaching towards the heaven, strong in your vertical axis. And then taking your hand down to your side. And the next sight that we have is on the front of the foot. So it's here on the front of the foot there. So it's on the top of the foot. You could say at the base of the joint between the little toe and the toe next to it is the site, where the site is. So just have a mind for that by pressing the outside edge of the foot down and also pointing the hand down to that area. If you're sitting, you might be able to hold that site. So you would hold it something like that. And if you're sitting, you could cross your feet so that one foot lands on the other one. That's the easiest way. So the heel of one foot is just resting on the other foot. Around about the top of the little toe and then back a bit. And so practicing, learning where the sights are, and then spending a little more time with that beautiful flow for the element of fire. So the Qigong that goes with it, we place the hands, first of all, standing in the starting pose, standing like a tree. So the feet really connected to the floor and down into the planet, the tailbone down as well, the top of the head reaching towards the sky, and breathing into your lower belly. And following your natural rhythm of breath. Now the 5 movements, some of them compromise the balance a little bit, so we found ourselves flickering like this, and that's because the fire element, like a flame, it's not necessarily predictable, and so these are purposely balance challenging poses, some of them. The first one is certainly a bit of a challenge balance wise. So you put the hands like this on the hips but pointing towards the 15s, and then we send the weight down through the right foot, and then we lift the left one up, then we send the left foot down and we pick the right one up. If you're really balance compromised, then you could just lift your heel up. I think I would rather that you lifted your heel up than hang onto a chair, so that at least you're getting a little bit of balance challenge, and maybe you can feel that slight trembling as you find your way, like a flame. So we add the breathing in as the knee comes up, breathing out and landing on the foot as the breath comes out. So here you're full of air, here you're empty of air, and moving as if you had a pole through your hips, like a table football player. So along one plane, so you're vertical and you're moving that way. And try and get a little bit lower to the ground if you can, and feel the 15s here opening and closing as you move. So lots of things to think about then. We do about 6 to each side. And then take the hands together with fingers pointing down and those fleshy bits under the thumb pressing together, the thenar eminence, and feel them connecting. Step back, I will step back a little bit, and then bringing the hands up to around the solar plexus area. Then the hands turn, they sweep past the third eye, so just acknowledge that they're going past the third eye, and they come up and then around again. Simple movement. Really focusing on the thumbs and the base of the thumbs. So this is the in-breath, and when you are here, this is about full of air, and then you follow the out-breath down. And you could imagine that you're drawing a heart shape, a cheesy heart shape around yourself. Here's the two bulbous bits at the top and then the point of the heart at the bottom. Final one. And actually with this final one, just stay for a little while at the upper dantian with the thumbs pointing inwards like they were two acupuncture needles pointing into the third eye there. Everything very grounded, top of the head as well, pointing towards the sky. So really extending along your vertical axis. And then bring your hands up and around again, and this time let them land palm down at around waist level, thinking about that back of the waist area, the site 23, around the adrenals and kidneys. And we're going to just move around that site. And the way to do that is to keep the knees and the hips pointing forwards, if you can, so that you're actually turning around the back of the waist. Feeling that point, Ming Men if you know Qigong, bladder 23, and site 23 in the art of Shin. Breathing in one way and breathing out the other. Empty of air here, full of air here. And then imagining that you're warming your hands on the deep core of the earth, the heat at the deep core of the earth, which is being attracted up into the palms of your hands and into that area at the back of your waist. When you have done around 6 to each side, take your hands down, back into standing like a tree, and shift your weight over onto your right foot. And take the left foot and put it on top of the right foot like this. So now it should be a little bit difficult to balance, and that's fine. We want that kind of trembling. And if this is not possible for you, then it's absolutely fine to just take a stance. Maybe a little bit of a narrow stance if you can, to get a little bit of balance challenge. And then take the hands firstly to the heart. Steady yourself. And then take them up to what's called the 8th chakra, the higher regions above the crown chakra. And you should be just slightly trembling like a flame, like attracting like, acting like a flame and attracting the element of fire. Thank you.